Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome yet again to another episode of Women in Business. This is Doreen Kemcha, Smart 24 TV, and we're delighted to have you. Now, as always, we are very keen, inspiring stories of the women in business, linkages to resources, as well as mentorship. Those are the three focal places, focal points on which this particular program lies. So on this particular episode, we're going to talk about networking. What is networking? You know, people throw it around, but do they actually know what networking is all about? Do they actually harness their 110, 130% that networking offers? What is it all about? And to give us insight, we have an amazing lady. She will speak for herself, but she is so gutsy. She is all out there. She's also a very humble lady. We're delighted to have Diana Nimsima Chibuka. She's the National Director for BNI Uganda. Delighted to have you, Diana.
Thank you very much, Doreen. It's a pleasure to be here.
You'll notice I fumbled a little bit with your name. It's longer, yes? You are married?
Yes, I'm married to Mr. Chibuka, Mr. Ronald Chibuka.
Delighted to have you.
Thank you so much.
How did this BNI begin? Well, what is it actually? Is it just an exclusive club? I've heard quite a lot about it. People have been asking me questions, yes? People have been asking me questions, and good enough, I'll have her here. She's going to give us everything about them and what networking is in Uganda. How did it start?
Thank you very much again. So BNI, first of all, stands for Business Network International, and it's a global organization. So I hear a lot of people very concerned, you know, about this thing. It's in over 77 countries across the world on all the continents, but it started in America in 1985. So it's about 39 years old.
Way back.
Way back. So how did I find out about Business Network International? How did I bring it to Uganda? Now that's a very interesting story, Doreen. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I was working in a law firm, and then I had a client, and the client had come from Kenya, and he was looking for people to help him with legal solutions. And in the course of getting to know him, every time he had a problem, I told him, let me call somebody in my network and I solve your problem.
Oh.
And so that gentleman told me there's this organization called Business Network International.
Yes.
And I remember, Doreen, when I first heard the word network, I actually shrank back. I said, no, thank you. I have enough networks. In fact, I don't want to know. But he told me, no, this organization brings business owners together. So maybe that's one important thing people watching need to know. It's a network for business owners. Secondly, it focuses on helping business owners grow their business. So if you're looking to grow your business, no matter how small you are, if you're a startup which started yesterday, if you are a big organization which has been around for 20 years, BNI is a place where you can grow your business. And it has very, very clear values. For example, we don't charge commission in BNI. If I help you, I give you a business referral, I give you business, there's no expectation that you pay me commission. And those are the things which attracted me to BNI. The length, it's been around for over 30 years at the time I got to know it.
So it's reputable.
It's very reputable, very credible. It's on different continents. So what the solution they provide works across countries, across cultures. And three, they have very clear values, really about helping each other and growing. And maybe I'll just loop networking into that by saying that a network is as basic as who are you connected to today, right? So Doreen, today you're in my network because we're having this conversation. Now everybody you know
literally will be almost like it's like all these
I'm
different
tapping into your network.
tentacles.
I'm tapping into your network. I tell people that in your family, that's a network. Stop looking for networks outside. Your first network is your family because they know you. So are you trustworthy in your family? Are you credible in your family? Can someone in your family lend you money?
First wait. Let me ask Dada. When he said there is this person here, your friend, your Kenyan friend, when he said your Kenyan client, when he said that there's this network, why did you cringe?
Because at that point in time, one, I was 33 years old. I was as a lawyer. I didn't feel I needed a network of business owners. I had never run a business of my own. And I thought for a moment it could be a pyramid scheme. You know that one where they say, bring one,
Yes,
bring two, bring
yes,
three.
yes.
And so immediately at that point I said, thank you,
No.
but not for me.
Yeah.
But he was so intentional because he kept saying, he said, you seem to know everybody. You seem to have a solution for every
Yes,
problem.
yes.
You seem to be very well connected. Let me introduce you to these business owners. At least
Start
come,
from there.
see for yourself,
Yeah.
and then make a decision. So I had to fly to Nairobi, Kenya to experience BNI. And when I got there, honestly, I was blown away
You loved it.
because of the values that the members were exhibiting. You know, helping people do business without charging commission.
That
And
doesn't happen often.
That doesn't happen often. And as a lawyer, I had seen it so many times with people saying, "Funira muwa,
Exactly,
funira
and
muwa."
this is what I wanted to say. This is what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Funirawa.
Yes.
I don't know the idea about Funirawa that is within this particular niche
Yes.
of business,
Yes.
really, and I think it comes from the fact that maybe I invested so much. Yes, I've spent quite a lot of time cultivating to where I am right now. How dare you? How dare you just come and then you expect me to give you everything, my contacts,
Yes.
my wisdom,
Yes.
after me suffering.
Yes.
Yes? So in one way or another, they tend to think of it as that moment whereby, pay me a little bit
Yes.
for what I have gone through to get here,
Yes.
to be able to give you this particular service.
Yes.
Is that bad?
Yes and no. Yes, it's bad. Let me tell you, as a lawyer, I used to sit in deals when deals were being made, and you have a whole line of people waiting for commission because of something small they did. Now, it affects the price at which the seller can sell and the price at which the buyer can buy. So the value of the deal that you're working on is inflated because of
Just those, that
Mfunira
line.
Muwa.
That
Yes,
line.
that whole line of brokers. Now, this is the difference, and the mind has to change. Because, Doreen, even you, to reach where you are, there are so many people
That held me.
who have helped you,
Yeah.
and they did not charge you. So if you meet someone else, pay it forward.
Yes.
Support them, and then let's move forward. All right? The problem is most people want to live off Mfunira mu katikati. Where do I benefit on this deal? Build something, do something constructive, and let people support you, and then support other people. And that's the whole mentality of BNI. We say give us gain. That if I help you, Doreen, achieve what you want to
I'm gaining
achieve,
something.
ultimately I will gain because it will come back to me in one way or another. So it's I know it's challenging, but this is a golden principle in life. Even
Yes,
philosophy, religion has shown us that.
That's the truth.
So the mind has to switch.
That's the truth. That's
Yes.
the reality about it. Because as much as you give, you
Yes.
also receive, right?
Yes.
That's the reality about it. Now, when I love this, women in business, yes? Because we look at the holistic picture.
Yeah.
And sometimes we also get down to the nitty-gritties of the behavior.
Yeah.
Yes, why do people behave like this? It's not, don't assume
Yes.
that I will behave a certain way.
Yes.
Don't assume that the lady out there who is really watching right now
Yes.
and investing and crying over this business may want to be very keen
Yes.
on the giving part
Yeah.
within networking.
Yeah.
But she'll be very keen on the receiving
Receiving
part.
part,
And
yes.
that is why you will notice a couple of women that I have spoken to will
Yes.
be very keen to get into networking,
Yes.
not particularly for the connectedness, the friendship. Yes? It will not be particularly for that. It will be particularly, what can you do for me? Yes? What can you do for me? What did you go through that I can pick a leaf from?
Yeah.
And make sure that, and a lot of that is actually happening. So I feel we need to demystify
Yes.
the essence of networking.
Yes.
Yes? The essence of networking, of help as many,
Yes.
and as you help as many, the gain actually comes back
Yes.
back to you.
Yes.
Do you have you had
term
challenge?
that term I actually use is add value. Wherever you are, add value. Be that person who adds something where they are. You know, even if you're in a small network, when people say we need someone to do this, put your hand up.
Yes.
Don't just be there to receive, because then that demystifies the whole essence of what can I take, what can I take. And as I was telling people, that if you can understand that a network is just the people you're connected to, right? And from the nucleus of a family, that's a network.
Yeah.
Your immediate family, your extended family, that's a network. When you went to school, that was a network.
So
when you went to university, that is a network.
is
Where
it-
you're working today, that is
Yes.
your network. Now, what value are you adding there? Some people want to go and network out there in places, make sense?
Yeah, and yet
Forgetting that you start here. Who are you? What value do you add? What can somebody from your family lend you money? Or are you the kind of person who they're like, Diana?
But haven't you heard of those instances where people will actually tell you that I have not been supported
Yeah.
by my friends, my inner friends
Yes.
and family? Haven't you heard?
I've heard of them.
There are people that actually tell you, one, because they just don't believe
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
And then there are others who will tell you, I got tired of calling
Yes.
and people were not picking up my calls.
Yes.
My own family members were not picking
Yes,
up my
yes.
calls because
Now.
every time I would call, they would
Yes.
expect that I'm going to sell them something,
True.
I'm going to
True.
give them OD, I'm going to do what, and then start banjering them.
Yeah.
So how is that failing as a
There-
network strategy?
There are two things. First of all, my sister used to sell bank accounts. She went from this bank to we opened bank accounts. So then one day we all just said,
No, yes.
But the whole point people need to understand is that you build your networks gradually, right? So as you go out to network, don't expect that where you go there, people will be even more
Keen,
receptive than
yeah.
your family. Now, a lot of bridges are burnt when we are doing business as women.
Yeah.
We have this expectation people will support me.
Yeah.
My friend, there's no expectation. Have you ever taken to them your whole
Package.
value chain and said, this is why I'm doing this, this is what, we just come and say,
Oh.
buy, send, do.
You are my family, you're supposed
You're my
to
family.
support me.
Just no.
Yes.
You must come and present yourself. If you're looking for a business partner for money in this from this person, present yourself professionally, but also understand and respect that this person has a right to say no, like you do when it comes to any
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
Because when you take that attitude into a networking space, that my family didn't support me, now here people will support me, why should they support you? What do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
How can that value be enhanced by the group that you're in?
Yes.
And I tell people, start from when you're small. When you're in a group of friends, what do your friends say about you? When you're in a workplace, what do your workmates say about you? Because when you come into a networking space, you
have to be
those
very
negative
clear.
traits
Yeah.
or positive traits. So learn to
Oh.
accept feedback,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking to join a network.
Don't think of it as vendettas and,
Yes.
and this person.
And now the challenge is when people pay to join networks like Rotary, like BNI, they come with this expectation, it is done, it is sealed.
Yes.
Yet the reality is that
You're coming to serve.
you're coming to serve, you're coming to add value. You must bring yourself and be able to develop yourself so
Yeah.
that people find you attractive and are able to do business with
With
you,
you.
or are able to build bigger things with you.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think for me, one thing I've learned in my journey of networking, people need to first start with themselves.
This
For
is
me,
how,
if
this
I'm
is how
a
many years,
person
by the
to be
way?
chosen, 8 years in BNI.
8 years.
8 years in BNI, 316 members, over 110
The
billion
Uganda
shillings.
chapter.
The Ugandan chapters, yes.
Have you had moments where you were uncomfortable? Why do I say this? Because I actually had a conversation and this lady said she had joined this particular network and she was calling upon other women in business really
Yes.
to be very particular and join these networks
Yes.
because they take you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
You are forced to grow.
Yes.
Just share a little bit, like in those 8 years,
Of course, for me,
what comfort zones have you
I
had to
moved
get
from?
out? Yes.
Totally. Now, of course, imagine for me, I was coming from employment, I didn't have a business, and I was telling people about this new thing called BNI. And people
Yes.
used to say, what's wrong with her? Avuddemu byalo.
Yeah.
How can be amateka? Kakati atunda chi? BMI, chichi.
Yeah,
Nga abantu tebabitegeera. Nobody could understand what I was doing. So there was, first of all, that challenge of people saying, you had a good job, you are a lawyer, what
Yeah.
are you doing? What
That's
are you
safe.
selling? You
That
get-
was safe.
So stepping out of employment, 1. 2, beginning to engage people. You know, when you invite people into something, you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
But facing rejection, for me, that was one of my biggest challenges
The no,
that I had to
getting
overcome.
used to no.
Getting used to no. And appreciating that Doreen has a right.
To say
Because
no.
yes, she doesn't understand what I'm saying. Even if Doreen is my best friend, I have a sister who was in business. It took her 5 years to join BNI. I
5
had to
years.
appreciate.
And you spent, so you spent
Yes.
literally 3 years.
She's in my family. I walk with her every day. I talk with her every day. Our children are the similar age, but it took her 5 years to join. So understanding that I must respect somebody's no, and I must give people a chance to understand my business. Took me out of my comfort zone where I used to be like,
And
I only
you're
want
so
to be with people
entitled.
who say yes. I only if you're my friend, if you agree with me. So
Yeah.
that one. And then of course I had to learn how to talk, because every day you wake up and you're telling somebody about this opportunity.
Yeah.
Please, now as a lawyer, people come to you. They are
Yes.
like,
Now you
you're
have to go out.
you're
It's actually a reversal.
You know, now now you're talking to people and they're really looking at you like, oh no,
Yeah.
Mobi,
Yes.
Chi. Then I had to keep learning, Doreen. I had to keep learning, because you have told this organization was over 30 years by that time. It was 30 plus years by the time I landed on it. So I had to learn, challenge myself. You know, when you go to places and you're the only African, you're the only woman, and people are, you show up,
Yeah.
you must be competent, you must be capable. So for me, that complacency also of just showing up and sitting in the room were a game changer. I had to begin to say, what am I going to say today? What conversations am I going to have? How am I going to present myself? What audience is before me? So that learning curve was very steep.
As you were selling this from African,
Yes.
right? What was your major uphill task
Okay.
to get over? Was
Okay.
it the mindsets about
Yes.
networking?
The first thing someone told me is that those things are for Kenyans. Serious business is done in Kenya. Uganda, there's no serious business.
Yes.
Secondly, they were like, nobody in Uganda is going to support each other without money. You're saying no commission, how?
How?
But today, we've made over 110 billion in business by members. No commissions. No
Ever
commissions.
since you started?
Yes, members giving each
Yes.
other business.
Yes.
The other thing they told me, no one will wake up in the morning. You know, our BNI meetings are 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Nobody will come to this meeting in the morning.
Yes.
In fact, I remember the hotel people, they said, are you sure, madam? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And some mornings I would wake up and there would be no one. But I had this resolve in me that if I can bring business owners together, and together we can support each other. Because
Yeah.
that word support, it's, you can just say it like that. But have you ever been carrying a heavy load and someone carries coal for you?
Yeah. The relief.
And you say,
the relief.
and that's what I see every day now. I see that from that small group that I started with the 316 business owners,
that have now.
you hear people saying, thank you for starting this thing. I don't know where I would be. Now I have a community of people I can work with. Now I have people who are supporting me. I have people who are teaching me. I have people who I can look to get business, give business, and learn together.
So it really, it's all and all.
Yes.
Any business owner.
Any business owner.
Can get in.
Yes, I love the story of Exceed Catering. Exceed Catering is a big brand now. They served food at the royal wedding for Busoga.
Oh, that's big.
Yes, but
Yes.
Exceed Catering started as a very small business in BNI. And I remember the lady called Olivia and her husband Brian. They came in, they had this big dream of doing fine catering, but there was nobody out there who was willing to bet on them and give them business.
Yeah.
And so members in BNI started giving them business slowly. And today, they are a big brand. They are a top-notch brand.
So you want to say that it was all because of BNI?
Yes. BNI is in their story. I have another story of a lady called Jennifer. She's currently running Nutrition Garage. Jennifer started a business of selling butunda in the boot of her car.
As she was working, or?
She had now quit work. She would
Yeah.
order butunda from Kisoro, then sell them to her friends in offices.
We've seen many do that.
And now
We've seen
she
many
came
do
to
that.
BNI. Then people told her, Jennifer, wait it easy. Then she found a market stall.
Yeah.
She started selling from there.
Yes.
Then she got contracts to supply schools, hospitals, universities.
And now.
She bought trucks. Then she said, but I can do juicing business.
Yeah.
She started a juicing business. Then she said,
For fresh juice.
For fresh juice, which now serves at weddings. Then she went and said, people look for nutrition. She started Nutrition Garage right there on your way to Nalia.
Yeah.
But do you see the mindset shift
Yes.
from somebody who was selling
From the
butunda
boat.
with the support of other business owners?
Yeah.
Today she has 3 businesses. The one which does market shopping for institutions, the one which does juice, weddings, events, parties, and for homes, and the one which does Nutrition Garage. Where she
All those
helps
are
people.
3 in one.
Those are 3. From somebody who just had the courage to come and be part of a group of positive business owners.
Yeah.
Yes. So
It's
as small as that, but it's also big as
what? And I want Diana. Let's. These are amazing stories.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yes.
What is stopping the average woman? When I say average,
Yeah.
yes, it's not in any way, derogatory or anything like
Yes,
that.
yes.
I just want the woman that I get to meet right
Yes,
now on
yes.
Kampala Road,
Yes.
the hustler, quote
Yes.
unquote,
Yes.
just like she started in her book. What is stopping her
Yes.
from getting into this networking,
Yes.
Are they organizations?
Yes, yes.
Yes. What is stopping her?
I think the first one is knowledge. Some people don't know we are there. Business Network International has been in Uganda for 8 years, but many people, when they come into the room, they're like, but where have you guys been?
Yes.
Are you sure? So now, last year we held a conference where we invited people from East Africa. It was very visible. And people said, but how do we reach you?
With different chapters?
With different chapters.
In Uganda here?
In Uganda, East Africa, global. We had 13 countries from across the world. Now, this year, we are saying no. We are opening it up to the public. So we are
Yes.
running an expo in May. And we are saying, the public members, come.
Yeah,
We are going to be
get to
inviting
know.
all of them. Come and find out about BNI. May 31st, 1st June.
Yeah.
Let us tell you, this is where we are. This is what we do. These are the people. So that you don't say, Obaba Ani.
Yes.
Now, the second thing is lack of courage.
Lack of courage.
Yes, fear. A lot of women fear failure. So they don't take that first step.
Yeah.
The first step is attending a meeting. You must get out of your comfort zone and
I want you
attend
to
a meeting.
look at the camera and speak, because she's there. She is waiting for you. Yes.
Yeah, I think that the first thing is visit a meeting. Visit
Yeah.
a Business Network International meeting. We meet on Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Friday morning, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. We meet at Fairway Hotel, we meet at Golf Course Hotel, we meet at Protea Hotel. Now, these hotels where we meet, it's not to eliminate anybody, but it's so that we find an environment where we can do business together.
Yeah.
We have people who speak all languages. We have people who are tailors.
Yes.
We have people who are fashion designers. We have artists. But we also have big brands like Victoria Schools, like Seroma Schools.
Yes.
But together, everybody comes together and helps each other
Yeah.
to progress.
Yes.
So many times when women don't want to come and step into an environment where, quote unquote, they don't know anybody. But if you go to bni.com and look for Uganda, you will find a space where you can come and meet other business owners and listen to them, particularly tell their story.
Yes.
So it's not just me talking.
It isn't.
Yes, but the other last thing I'll talk about is discipline. Doreen, anyone who wants to achieve something great must be willing to invest time and money.
Yeah.
And the discipline of investing those two is one of the
Is
hardest
one of-
challenges
is one
that
of the
women
challenges.
face. Because we are full of excuses. We say, my children, my husband, the sky, the moon, everything. But I always emphasize to women that if you're okay,
Yeah.
if you look after yourself and you're okay, if you prosper, if you thrive, then everything will be okay.
Everything will be
Everything will be okay. But if you're not okay, nothing will
a
be
positive mindset, basically.
Yes.
Does a positive mindset really immediately translate into a
Yes,
hefty pocket?
yes, yes.
Does it immediately
Yes.
translate?
Yes. Imagine, Doreen, if I'm selling to you butunda, and I come banange nyabo obutunda bubuno. Or if I come said, Madam Doreen,
Yeah.
pleasure, this is your butunda.
Yes.
When can I bring the next one?
Mindset radiates to attitude.
Yes, definitely.
Mindset radiates to attitude.
Definitely.
Diana, let's take a short break. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back after this message and get to know all about what it takes to actually build a network, get more sales, get more connections, and be a better business owner.
Smart 24, driving business.
Bulu magic is my joy. Bulu magic
Talaba kumabala atukuza n'onyirirawo kirako ennyange tayisa bubi faburiki kyonna kyekiri kiggwa lwa bulu magiki is my choice ono bulu magiki ye wange ambye bulu magiki is my choice ono bulu magiki ye wange
Linear level and we upgrade you. If you're on GOTV Value, then upgrade to GOTV Plus to watch GOTV Max. On GOTV Plus already, upgrade to GOTV Max to enjoy GOTV Super. And if you're on GOTV Max, upgrade to GOTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GOTV Super Plus at no extra cost. Step up your entertainment today. GOTV Uganda. Love it.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're so tingy. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome yet again. From the break, I hope this was great for you. This is still Doreen Kemcha, Women in Business on Smart 24 TV. And here we are still seated with Diana from BNI. Diana, you are literally demystifying networking. In the break, we talked about something and you said, you know what, networking per se may not actually be networking for someone else.
Yes.
When you say networking and someone is like, hey, commission is where?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Give me the people because
Yes.
we're in Funida.
Yes.
All these health products and the different, I don't know, insurance.
Yes.
I speak loosely, really. I
No,
speak
that's
loosely
good.
about that. This is a disclaimer as well.
Yes.
Is that sometimes they attach, the more you get on board,
Yes.
the more commission you're able to get.
Yes.
So, if someone says networking,
Yes.
considering that there are so many different networkings
Yes.
out there,
Yes.
it is not necessarily that you're going to get a commission. You have to actually work on yourself to be able to meet the different standards
Yeah.
of the different people that you are meeting
Yeah.
in this particular network. What are those particular things that you wish every particular person maybe knew? And as we talk about this, let us please focus on this other woman that is coming up.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
The Ugandan woman, the
Yes.
typical, and we have those ones who are stratified. We have those ones who are coming up. We have
Yes.
those ones who are already cemented.
Yes,
We have
yes.
those ones who are in the billions league.
Yes, yes.
I want us to also look at the one who is
Yes.
coming up,
Okay.
who is utilizing TikTok, WhatsApp, yes, to sell her products. She
Yeah.
said, Babi Mumpagide,
Yes.
you are there.
Yes.
Mumpagide every time.
Yes.
You know, send this word out.
Yes.
Young as a network here,
Yes.
Febantegede.
Yes. Yes.
What are you able to tell this other woman on how she can grow and
Okay.
utilize her network?
Okay. Thank you, Doreen, again. And it's wonderful because we do have those businesses in BNI.
Yeah.
We have one lady who does wigs, and she does beauty, makeup, and she utilizes TikTok a lot. We have a photographer, Twine Shots. He utilizes TikTok a lot. And one thing that I would emphasize is that whatever you're putting out there, we are making an impression. We are getting an impression
About you.
about you. Okay? So you cannot get and use social media and leverage social media, and then you become offensive.
Yeah.
You start abusing people
Yes.
and shaming people, and then you say, that was just for then, but I'm very good, I'm a good businesswoman. Nobody will
Then
believe.
first wait,
Uh-huh.
we had this same topic last year.
Yes.
And we mentioned this, we were talking about with another lady who was giving us tips on marketing.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And she said, you people, you are utilizing social media as you go out there.
Yes.
These things of coming and you have your product, yes, and you're dancing and you're saying, Twali Zamuli,
Yes.
Oba Toyagala, don't come,
Yes.
Oba you want, you come, and things like that. The reality about it is that there is someone who would have bought from you
Yes.
who will not take that lightly.
Yes.
You're literally branding yourself. This lady was
Yes.
talking about branding.
Yes, yes. And that's it. That as a businesswoman and as people who are doing business, people don't buy your product or service. They buy you. You see, because they
repeat that.
trust you. People don't buy, when we talk about, let me talk about a baker who's selling on TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you know how many cake people there are in
There are
this
many.
city? Very many.
There are many.
Okay? Now, you're using social media. People come and they buy your product because they like what they see.
Yeah.
And they most likely buy you. Ochitegera?
You
They
are the
buy how
face,
you
you are the
they buy
face.
what you're presenting. All right? Now, when it comes to doing business, one easy way is to be able to get testimonials from other people. So, for example, Doreen buys your cake.
Yeah.
Can you ask Doreen to
say
write
something.
and say, oh, Diana's cakes were amazing? Can you ask Solomon, who's your friend, to write and say, banange, eno cake yampomedde nnyo nnyo nnyo? People buy the credibility that you have. And one way to gain that credibility is have your favorite customers, even call them, say, what can you tell me? What do you like about my product? What do you like about my service? Then put it there. Now the second tip, so the first tip is understand that how you show up, how you appear, how you present yourself, that's what people are buying.
Dana, some people tend to think that it is more about how many gigs have I attended.
Yes.
How many parties, for example, the cake person.
Yes, yes.
They'll see my beautiful cake.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And then the surrounding
Yes.
of the tent.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And people dancing.
Yes.
And that should be able to sell.
Yes.
To sell the cake. So
Yes.
you'll find in most cases the service providers, whether it's catering, whether
Yeah.
it is the fashion
Yeah.
and all this, tend to
Yeah.
actually capitalize on the events that
Yeah.
they have served.
Yeah.
Yes. And what you're saying is that is not enough.
Yeah.
It is not enough to do that. Let them actually have the testimonials.
Yes.
Yes. Those people that buy from you, your customers, your
Yes,
clients.
yes, yes.
Who keep on coming, banange on their
Yes,
phone.
yes.
I love this
Yes,
juice.
yes.
Let that person also be able to record that I love
Yes.
I love this juice.
Yes.
Because that is what is going to hook
Yes.
the other.
And let me tell you,
person.
you see, in the beginning we used to be deceived. But now I know many brands which tell you that people steal their pictures. I'm a cake baker,
Yeah.
but you steal the picture from the bleeding cake and then you put it on
Yes.
your platform. So
Yeah.
people now know that people steal photos.
Yeah.
So many times, if you want to be successful in selling online, give them a personal connection to the cake. And normally that comes through your story, to what you're selling. All right? Why are you passionate about baking? Why do you love doing this? Why did you design this cake like this?
Yes.
What was the event? That story. We talk about story, the fact that stories sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stories sell. You don't hook people by just showing them the product.
end result.
Tell them the process of getting this product. Tell them the what you've added. Tell them what makes it
I'm
different.
dying to say something.
Yes.
It's because many times, even as you're talking about that,
Yes.
now the thing that pops up is those behind the scene moments.
Yeah.
Whereby this other cake lady and the guy, the chef,
Yes.
would actually give you snippets
Yes.
of how she would go decorating the
Exactly.
icing,
Exactly.
and telling you this is hard work, but it's
Exactly.
fun. It's I love this, and then she continues, and
Yes.
that never goes away.
No.
It's the story.
And then you own that product because people associate you with the creation of that product. So that's the first thing. use the second one I mentioned is use testimonials from people. Ask for those. The third one I don't know how to emphasize it, but even you out there, no matter how small your business is, understand that your business is a seed. When you plant it and water it well, it will give you much fruit. But many of us, we plant and we don't look after it. And I'll give an example. There's a brand called Bake For Me. Everybody knows it in cake. But that brand started when the owner was asked to make a cake for her cousin, and she took the cake to the office, and people started saying, "Ndeterayo, nange ndeterayo, nange ndeterayo." Do you see? The offices were just down there on Greenland Chambers. So she first started giving the office of the cousin, then it spread out beyond, then it spread out. But today that brand has again served at the royal wedding. Do you understand? So people forget that seed which you're planting can give you a big harvest. How do you look after it? First of all, be in your business. Look out for the things. Watch where the money goes. If you get one car job, do it well. Be someone who people can kwesiga. You know what I mean? Say, Doreen muwadda akantu kange ajaka kwata bulungi akatuuse. Don't be the person who you have to call 30 times. Doreen, what to say? Doreen, Doreen's phone goes off. Then you understand?
Consistency.
Then understand how that to grow from here to here takes time. A lot of us want to jump on a big thing when we cannot eat it. You want to go and kill an elephant when you don't have the capacity. So now that's where the collaboration comes in networking. If you've gotten a big event,
please share.
Look for people who you can work with, bring them on board and go. Don't try to eat it all alone and die. Because maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't have the capacity, you don't have the equipment, you don't have the resources. But if you get that deal and you call other people, then you go together. Then you divide the money as per what you've brought in.
Do you know the number one fear about collaboration? You know.
That they will steal your client.
Exactly.
But
that
then,
they will steal.
But again, Doreen, for me, it's mindset. Because how do you grow? If you want to create something big, if you want to serve 1,000 people, you're going to build a team. You're going to find partners. You're going to find people you work with. So what I always tell people is, if you grow your business slowly, you move with it. Okula nayo.
Yes.
Kakati, you get wisdom. In this card deal, how do I deal with that? Here, Bankubie, let me learn. In this card deal, now you take that lesson from here. Use all your failures. Use all your mistakes. To make you a better business owner. Secondly, learn how to join groups where women where you can learn with other women. Enterprise Uganda has some programs. Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association has some programs. Rotary is a place where you can meet genuine people. I want to believe you can learn from them. So please understand that this thing in life, even the big businesses kutomera and they fail. We'll talk about banks which have collapsed. They had the money, they had the resources, they had the knowledge, but they failed. So you who's coming up with your small business, don't take it personal. You understand that you needed to learn that lesson at this point in your life, and you've learned the lesson there and you take it up. So don't be afraid when you have been burnt, but manage yourself and move on to the next
growing.
thing. Yes.
What about those moments whereby there's a fear, the inclination, especially by women in business, to micromanage? Yes, I started my baby, my business. I got it from here and there. There was no one who believed in me. I started small. It's like it's basically a story being lived. You are literally, your business is your story.
I understand.
Yes. And then all of a sudden you're talking about collaboration. People are coming in and telling me, you know what, change this, change the colors, do this very quickly. I'm just thinking about the number of women. And these are things we have to really think about, Diane. These are things, Diana, that are really working and they are there. Because there are women who will tell you, I would rather that my business is small, growing at my own pace, sagala. They could think in the Madio. Sagala lugezgezi. From different people who were not there when I was starting. Yes. So you're telling them basically that if you want to grow and make an impact, stop over personalizing your
Yes,
business,
yes,
that you
yes.
must be able to bring others
Yes,
on
yes,
board.
yes.
How do they get over their fear and their micromanagement?
Again, Doreen, it's for me, start small. What can you afford to risk? Don't go and bring people in all at once. No. Who are they? Gauge them. But this is what I tell people. You know that proverb which says if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to stay small, be alone. But if you want to grow something, you need other people. So the question is for you to select who are the people. So if you understand that you're the one with the power to let people in, then you're the one who is the doorkeeper. So what
have to be
criteria do you use
selective.
to let people in? But as I've told you, if you are a caterer and you want to serve 1,000 people, there is no way you're going to cook,
manage.
serve, what. But how much does serving
that's
1,000 people take?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just be selling on the roadside and you give? But what I'm trying to tell you is that you can start from the roadside. Then you go and you get someone to work with a bit. You see, the risk is minimized. You have not left everything. Then there are two things I'll tell you. Always keep an eye on your money. Don't say, oh, your muwadde center just in the bidira. No, a cent is equatide. Bank your money because it's very hard for money in the bank to be stolen.
Yeah.
And then plan. Kuba plan. You don't have to write many budgets and what, but kuba plan. Kakati omwaka guno, what am I going to achieve? Nonyachi. Tandikirawo. Mu mwezi guno njagala kugula kino. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then your risk oba
You spread out your risk rather than all of it getting into
the
your
biggest problem, people come and it's mfunira mu kati chigwerawo kati nina diru you see,
be quick.
that's the biggest problem.
Like
Doreen,
one
by
told
the
me,
way.
quickly.
Yes,
Yeah, be quick.
yes. And then they tell you you're slow, you are falla. For you are there, you had your money.
Yes.
Before you know it, it has gone. They've told you they're going to multiply it. Whee!
They take time to think, by the way.
Yes.
Take time to think about
If
these
it's
things.
too fast, if it's too good to be true,
And it is too quick,
and it's too quick, and it's
there is probably a problem
bakutwala,
there.
please just stay wano kankomeo.
Stay calm.
Eh,
Let's get back on
yes.
social media.
Understand, the best example is a seed. Omuti tegusobola kukula in one day. Gutwala emyaka. And a mango tree to give you fruit, it's not going to give you fruit in 1 year.
But I also want to be like those ones I'm seeing on social media. That's what she'll say. I also want to be. I have to, and you can really feel.
Yes,
You can feel it when you
yes,
sit with some
yes.
of the ladies that I've spoken to. You know,
Yes.
on and offset. And then
Yes.
Zatayagala, I
Yes.
want to be there.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
when
yes.
will my juice
Yes,
business
yes,
grow and
yes.
have me supply? I have already known what I will wear.
Yes.
I know what I will put on. I know how my
Yes.
juice table will
Yes,
be like.
yes,
At
yes.
that particular
Yes,
wedding
yes,
there
yes,
will
yes,
of around how many people it will
And-
find me prepared.
And that's what I keep telling people, that find out the backstory. That friend of mine who I told you started selling butunda
In the boot.
Today she can set up at a wedding, no tangala. But are you willing to start selling butunda in a boot? Do you know how long it took for her to get there? So social media sells us this illusion that yesterday Diana was on the street
And
today,
tomorrow
she already has a company.
They
that
don't.
does
You'd
things.
never know the stuff
Wake
they
up
had to go
and
through.
be wise. I tell women, be wise, you know. Wisdom comes from the Lord. Seek wisdom. Because at the end of the day, we all know everything happens in due season.
Yeah.
And when you want to accelerate something, you must have the seed to plant and make it grow.
Yeah.
Everything starts with a seed.
With a seed.
So for you, understand that the one who you see today, waliwo gye yava. Otegera? Waliwo ekkubo she took a path.
Yeah.
She made a way. And now she's stepping in her glory. For you, what are you willing to do to get there?
You must be able to do something.
You must
But
be
you also
willing to
must have a plan that you're working
Exactly.
on. And I think what happens is when you have this vision, like I was talking to that lady who
Yes.
is an amazing, passionate, into the juice business.
Yes.
And she was, and I remember that day when I even met her, she just made, a coat
Yeah.
for herself.
Yeah.
She said, I have to look professional.
Yes, 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 yes.
And she had 2 coats and she said, Nina Kambalaka.
Yes.
I loved the fact that it's just humble beginnings.
Yes.
It is humble beginnings. But this is what happens,
Yes.
especially when you are so fueled by seeing the end products on social media.
Yeah.
competition, really,
Yeah.
of the others.
Yeah.
That it negates even what you're doing right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That you begin to compare yourself and say, banange,
Yes.
I am still in the bracket
Yes.
of 200, 300,
Yes.
400. People are in hundreds of
Yes.
millions.
Yes.
And then that's when now you begin making, bad decisions
Yes.
and cutting corners.
Yes.
And before you know it, it's
You're out
it's
of
bad.
the game.
It's bad. So people should actually take, women and even the others, the men as
Yeah.
well in business, should be able to take their time. Yes? Take their time and allow it to grow.
Yes.
But have a particular plan and
Yes.
work on it seriously. Work on it seriously.
Yes.
What has been your, especially when you were getting now into your networking,
Yes.
you had just quit law,
Yes.
which was very, very, I don't know,
left
it was
employment.
crazy.
That's what happened. I left employment.
Yes, employment. And it was such a brazen move.
Yes.
People must have been thinking you're cuckoos or something like that. And getting out into a new space
Yeah.
that you had to sell for others to believe. You had to sell the idea. So you are literally talking about something that you have lived through.
Yes.
I want you to use the same scenario. How did you get up in the morning and give yourself a different mindset every single day, which I'm
Yes.
sure you did?
Yes.
That this other lady who is afraid of growth
Yes.
and still clinging onto her small business,
Yes.
and we know you're out there, so
Yes.
many of you, you are scared to grow. You
Yeah.
are scared to collaborate. Mugamba, your business will be stolen away from you. Mugamba, when it grows so big,
Yes. You
problems also come. URA will run after you. So how did you manage to get out of this fear?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you had your fears as
Yes,
well.
I did.
How
Yes, I
did
did.
you? I just want like a step by step
Yeah,
that
okay,
our lady out
okay.
there can use. A step by
So,
step.
The very, very first thing, Doreen, that I will say is that I have learned, okay, at that point, I just had the vision.
Yeah.
I was like, if this thing works, if it happens, it would be powerful. So my why, what drove me
Yeah.
was, imagine business owners in Uganda doing business without commission. I said, how will that even be?
How will it work out?
How will it will be so wonderful. Kakati, that vision drove me. So the first thing I would tell that lady, have a vision for your business. Every big business you see started with a vision. That's where it started. The second thing I will say is, for me, God. Because you must have that anchor, that strength. When nobody around you believes, when everybody believes that you're running mad,
Yes.
where do you turn?
When everyone believes you, thinks you're mad.
Definitely. It was
Yes.
God. I used to say, God, together with you, I can achieve this. Make sense? The third thing I will tell you, Doreen, that I've learned over time now is discipline.
Yeah.
You have to show, if you started that project, you must show up. Even when there's nobody who shows up. For me, I would hold meetings and nobody comes. Nobody comes.
Repeat that.
I would hold meetings, I book a hotel and nobody comes. So I made losses.
This
and I made
happened
losses.
how many times?
Many times, more than once.
I
Because
just
it
want
took
to-
me 8 months to bring together 25 people. 8 months to kukunganya 25 people.
Did they have to pay to join?
Yes, but even forget the paying.
Yeah.
For people to
To
come.
believe.
To come for the meeting.
I'm thinking maybe it was the payment.
No,
Was
because
it
you
a
would
hefty
invite
fee?
them. You would invite them and say, Doreen, come on this day. I tell you about what I'm doing. I'll be there.
You did this how many times?
I've told you it took me 8 months to bring together 25 people.
And you had empty,
Empty
booked rooms.
empty room.
Like you yourself.
Me, myself.
Did
the
you go-
hotel
did you
people would
go,
be like, Bambi.
"Sorry."
Hey, sorry. So that's where the power of vision
Yeah.
drove me. Because I kept saying, no, one day I will see what I saw in Kenya.
that
I
vision.
will bring it here and we will make it work. So the power of my conviction was so strong. But you must have the discipline to show up. Because it was so easy to say next week, I want to
Let me
go.
just leave.
Let me just step out of it, right?
Yeah.
So that discipline to show up. If you
Was
get that
something
small
else.
order, show up. Serve the way you would serve if you were serving the president. Let that one client appreciate you.
Yeah.
That next time they are thinking about your service, they're like, Doreen, kankubire ku simu.
Yeah.
Doreen Jolie, njagala gwe wekka.
Yes.
You understand?
I think I totally, I really believe this. I believe this, Diana. Yes? I totally believe this wholeheartedly.
Yes.
That when you work as if it is your moment,
Yes.
yes?
Yes.
And at whatever they don't even mean, because most people tend to think, let me first do small, and I
Yes.
practice on people,
Yes.
and then after, when I get the very big clients is when I will unleash. No. Even when you are starting, fellow
one.
woman in business, when you are starting, no matter how small the money, no matter how one or two the product is, work as if you are working to that particular client of the highest you have always wanted.
Yeah.
I totally believe this wholeheartedly. You know? And this is, whether it is personally for me, I will go all out. Because to me, that gives me the hype. It gives me, this is what I want.
Yes.
So for every day, as you make it a pattern, as you make it a habit, this is what happens. It becomes an everyday thing. Every time you are giving your best, and the other person also who is receiving your best is going to become your number one champion, going to become your number one cheerleader, and guess whom they will be talking about? To the others. Most people tend to make that mistake.
Yes.
They wait for that moment. I will be this perfect. Try being perfect wherever you are.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Put your 100% in today. Be present.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Then round it up. We've done, this conversation won't end.
Yes.
I think we are getting to see exactly the essence of networking. The network, I want you to recap, actually. Please just do us a favor. Recap on that.
Yes.
Because networking sometimes is seen as, whom can I give so that I get a quick return?
Yes.
And sometimes it is all about growing yourself, branding yourself appropriately so that the person who is seeing you the other side knows what to expect and the quality and all that. And I think these are things that we women in business should be able to see from the get-go and begin not to look at that one person and say, you didn't like the way I packaged my fish for you. There is another fish provider somewhere. No, you are not losing one particular client. You are losing all the people.
And all the people around
all the people behind.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very easy to go on and this person who highlighted me, I see them on social media. Facebook, this person who highlighted me, please, you didn't start this business for me. You didn't, but you are losing many. So please recap for us as we wrap
So
up.
the first thing for me is networking is all about your connections. Now, as so long as you're a human being today, you have a network. So stop looking very far for a network. Social media just gives you a wider network, which brings, because it brings together people who are on that social media channel. But from where you stay, to the family you come from, to where you went to school, to where you worked, if at all, that is your network. And all of them can have something to say about you. It could be positive, it could be negative. But get that feedback and take that feedback, because it's that person, you, with that feedback, who's going to be a better person in another network that they join. Be intentional about the networks you join. It's true that people are out there looking for people to connect with. So don't wait to be found in your home, madam. Shall we come to your home and find you? No. Come out, look for networks which bring together business owners, look for networks which bring together different people like Rotary, and you will, and learn from those networks. And then the third thing and most important thing, ladies, it's what you're pursuing that will give you the value and the mileage in the network you want to go to. And the game changer is to think about adding value. When you enter a new network, don't be like one nzize kulia, nzize bantwale, nzize kati mfunyi abagagga, nzize bano bagenda kunteka nkulevu endala. No, ask yourself, wano ngenda kuyambako ki? Who am I going to help? Ngenda contribution chengenda kukola wano. You understand? Because if you make a contribution, then you become valuable. Because people want to associate with you. And a contribution can be even sharing ideas, Doreen. Really coming and saying, you know what, I think on this thing, let's do like this. Tereze, that is a contribution, not just money, a contribution of time. If people call a meeting in a network where you are, show up. That is valuable. And then everything starts and stops with you, my dear. In whatever network you are in, the value you will draw out depends on how much you're able to invest in that space, and how you're able to communicate and how you're able to draw. Even if it's on social media, how you're able to project, how you're able to talk about yourself, how you're able to convince people that, you know, yours is the best product there. So everything is for, our networks are for us to use. How we use them is what differs. Make sense?
When you say our networks are there for us to use,
yes,
the first thing that I got in my mind was like, hey, I'm making friends with you, but I want something from you. You know, maybe utilize sounds okay. A little bit.
True.
You're coming to use me. Utilize. I think. You know, sometimes the word can make a difference.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So you're coming here, you just want to use me.
Yes,
you know? Let's utilize our networks.
True.
Diana, this has been awesome having
Thank you so much.
We'll do something.
We'll
do something together. This is Doreen Kemcha, Women in Business on Smart 24 TV. We're always delighted to have you. Please utilize, use this information that you continuously get from these amazing people that we bring on set. This has been Diana, the National Director for BNI Uganda chapter. And thank you so much for giving us quite some insight on the networking. Women, do something 2024. Until next time, Doreen Kemcha, bye-bye.
Smart 24, driving business.
Luxury redefined at Seasand Hotel as you endow in the splendor of elegant living, fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy, exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies.